What up, folks? What up? About to get started in a second.
Just take the street. Get it. I'm trying to practice.
One second, fam. We got to get started in 1 second. My bad. I did not know I was on mute. Why you think I was on mute? Oh, okay. My bad, folks. I was on mute the whole time. But now I'm just playing some music right now and kind of talking a little bit, you know, so I get into the right mindset to bring on my guest, Mr. Relly Rebel. What up, bro? I can't hear you yet, man. I'm about to bring you on in a second. Off camera. Like, all. You got me? Yeah, I definitely understand, though. I need to be there too myself right now. Sometimes you gotta command your storm to be over. Sometimes you gotta get into a space where you just brace for it to be over. Even though it don't seem like it's passing, it's like it's more wind, more thunder, more floods. Like you gotta have, you know, your faith in a space that God is working it out for the better of everything, and that what's for you is coming into fruition, man. It's just you gotta stay focused on that. Today's time is kind of hard for anybody, especially a lot of what we're dealing with as men out there today. You know, it's tough. You know, crying, the things you can't complain about, the things you can't talk about. So it's just how we are built as men, and hopefully it's showing this conversation, you know, that I try to spark on this platform, man. You know, ignite more of these type of conversations amongst, you know, your peers and your friends, and carry it on. You know, to really make that impact on that stigma and them kind of mental health. Yeah, I'm gonna get through these. Before I bring Raul on though, I'm gonna come on with a show. I'm gonna show a clip of my man in action, and you know, talking to his people and his passion. You know what I'm saying? Like, I watch what he's doing from the sideline, and I see my man out there grinding. And the title of the show is "Every Week for 3 Years" because I caught I guess it was a clip of him. What was that? City Hall, bro, or it was at City Hall, and he was, you know, bringing some attention to the council members there. And he started off by saying he's been doing this for every week for 3 years, getting his butt kicked, man, like by the police, you know, getting harassed, fighting for communities where, from what I see, like there should be more people out there fighting with him, and he's still fighting with the same energy that, you know, for the better of us folks, especially when it comes to like police brutality and things like that. That's when I noticed he kicked it off. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it was somewhere around a George Floyd incident. And my man, if anybody know him, man, my man is a character, dog. Like, he's a funny individual, man. Like I mentioned earlier, man, he you know, he's a rebel. He fights for the people that he loves, man. So, you know, it's just cool to sit back and watch people that you went to school with, man, kind of go off in their own way. And for me, it's dope to kind of hear that story and what makes them tick and some of the mental obstacles they overcome. Now, the mental aspect perspective from this one is like just opening up and just talking about, like, you know, what makes them tick. The other aspect of it is like dealing with what he's dealing with and fighting that fight he's fighting, man. That gotta be a mental pull in so many different directions. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's you know, when you're not, especially when you don't see like immediate impact. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I know that has to take a toll on anybody, period. You know what I'm saying? In your journey or trying to get to a place of success. But I think it's a little bit different, man, because it goes to people's rights, civil rights, and things like that, and brings attention to the voice of, you know, the people. And like I said, I'm excited to have him on. When the song gets done, I'm gonna go ahead and kick him over to his video, and we'll get the show started. Man, it's been a rough couple months, man. It's been rough, bro. It's a space where you just when you realize, well, again, like I've been realizing, but when you reminded of what faith really is, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like you really don't see like a good end of things. You really don't understand how things are supposed to come together. You really get confused on the vision that God gave you. It's just a lot of times where like the enemy is pulling at you in so many different ways, and that's outside of Christianity. It's whatever you believe in. You know what I'm saying? Like it's that natural pull, positive versus negative. So it's just it's just, man, I want to remind my fellas out there, man, that they keep pushing, bro. You know what I'm saying? Keep going, keep fighting for what you believe in and what you feel is right. Keep fighting to be the person that you see yourself as, even though you're not there yet. You know, take the little steps, the small steps to get there. Shit, crawl until you get some momentum if you have to, man. But I try to keep this show in a space where I don't make it too heavy, right? And I have a gift of explaining the things that I go through without always sounding sad or expressing my emotion, how I actually feel about it. But I also promise transparency along this journey. Like, this platform is also a coping mechanism for me, right? And it's been a great outlet for me to kind of just talk instead of just talking within myself and battling my own thoughts and my own answering my own questions. It's just in a space where it's just like, all right, Lord, like, I recognize when I'm tired, right? I recognize I was tired years ago when I got to a space of wanting to commit suicide, right? And then once I got to that space, it was just like, man, I had to find a different motivation in life to kind of make things work, man. Like, it's no, chasing the bag don't really do it. Don't do nothing for me. Like, the only chasing the bag for me, I want for the security of my family and to help others around me. It's really, although I recognize money brings nice things, I hate everything that comes with finances. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter the controlled, the uncontrolled, the fallouts, the broken relationships, man, all over a piece of paper and a dollar, right? Off of a society that we're groomed that money is everything, and we need it. But when I look at the world, man, I see like money dividing everybody, bro. I see people doing dumb, sacrificing their souls for a dollar, man, and killing another soul for a dollar and reacting out of violence because they don't have that paper, man. It's just in a space where I understand. I'm in a space where I understand. The suicide that happened last week, and these brothers that took their life out that were some pretty popular dudes, man. You see that a lot of people not chasing what's tangible. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's we live in a tough society, man, and we're in a space where people got to figure out how to fight through. You know what I'm saying? Like, on my end, I'm praying for you. I hope you get through. I hope you find your peace you're looking for, whoever is out there who's dealing with something major, man. And although it don't seem like it's going to get better, the weight lifts. You know what I'm saying? It ain't always in a space where that heaviness keep you on your knees. But you going to have to, do some squats to be able to carry that weight that's going to naturally be there, right? But like I said in my last show, it don't always get bright, but it lightens up. You're not always in that darkness. So with all that, bro, I feel like I'm ready to have this conversation with my man. Let me see if I can go ahead and kick over his clip. Y'all bear with me while I figure out how to restart this video too. Bear with me 1 second. I'm trying to. I can't figure this joint out to save my life, bro. All right, I don't think that's gonna work. So let's just go ahead. We're gonna hop into the conversation, bro. My bad, bro. The clip wrong for some reason. I'm on low properly on the share, man. But I'm sure you can. You'll do a great job, man, talking about and translating exactly what it is that that fuels you in, and what I wanted to show in that video, and kind of what you were saying as far as what got you started in that particular video. You were on point. You know what I'm saying? Like, so without further ado, man, bro, I'm about to bring you on, dog.
All right.
What's up, man?
What's going on, brother?
Hey, nothing, fam. How you feeling?
I'm good. Gucci.
Hey, you ain't got no light. You know you already
My
Doc, this
dark.
nigga.
Can you see it now? Do I? What? Should I?
Yeah, you good, bro. It
I'm
ain't
good.
nothing.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I can see you. I can make it out. What's up with you, bro?
Not much, man. Chilling. I'm in Jersey right now with the family.
You out Georgia? What for the
No,
Memorial Day
Jersey,
weekend?
New Jersey.
Jersey?
Yeah, I'm in New Jersey right now with the family.
That's your hometown spot?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I know you moved up this way. How old were you when you moved up this way? Up Glen Burnie.
I moved there when I was in second grade. I was in Maryland. I moved to Maryland when I was in second grade.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I think I left out. All right, after 2001, after we graduated, I lived in PG County for like 3 years until like 2004, and then I moved to Jersey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How long you been out there? You said since 2004? Out there for a minute,
Yeah,
bro.
Jersey 2004. Now I just been jumping around, bro. I went from Jersey, I went to Philly, lived in Philly for a little bit, then moved back to Jersey. Now I'm in New York.
Yeah, that's I was about to ask you that next question. Like, bro, how you end up in New York, bro? Like, it was funny, man, because I think the first time I came across, I was scrolling on my timeline, bro. You was going off, and I was like, "Damn, what's up with Rel? Like, who pissed Rel off?" And then I started hearing like what you were saying. I started seeing the videos and seeing the things you were protesting and seeing you out there really about your action, man. Like, I can't wait to dig into that and see how you know what I'm saying, how you go from the jokester to
where it's at now. That's crazy, right? And
that's crazy, bro.
The crazy part is that I was like, yeah, it was so because I was so silly and just, you know what I mean? But now I don't see nothing funny, you know what I mean? Like the stuff that we used to laugh and make fun of people about and all that stuff.
Bro,
it's not, you know what I mean? I be looking at it,
like,
people
everybody.
like when people be cracking jokes, I just be looking around like, oh man, like that ain't me no more.
Bro, I know what you make you feel uncomfortable, right, bro? Like you just like
yeah, yo, man. Some of them be like, dang, I used to hate like, that's how you talk. Like, yo. But yeah, I changed a lot.
Like, hey, bro, I ain't never seen you serious, bro. Like, what? Come, like, you all right, bro? Like, you good?
Yeah, but it snatched, man. That 2020, you know, the George Floyd, it snatched. It yeah, it changed me. It changed me to the point that I couldn't work. All the whole
you said it.
You know,
you said it changed you to the point where you couldn't work.
Yeah, I was at work, man, like busting out crying, like going through it. You know what I mean? And it wasn't even like thinking. I wasn't even thinking about this. It was just like, my kids. You know what I mean? I've been locked up, bro. It was like 70 times. So like all the shit that that I wanted to do and like working and like my comedy and all that type of stuff. I was always getting set back. When they locked me up. I always got to find a new job. Lose passion for doing jokes. It was a lot, but I always just kept getting out and working like it wasn't nothing and working like it wasn't nothing. And just looking back, like right before I started protesting, the last time I got out of jail was like 2017, and they had me. They locked me up. They had me on probation for 2 years. I did probation for 2 years. The last month I didn't show up, but I did it for 2 years. And the last month, I didn't show up, but they violated me on the last month, and that was my first violation. And I'm thinking it's nothing.
Like, did you have to do time behind that?
Yeah, but it wasn't no violation is if you violate your probation, you can violate with another crime. You can violate by not showing up. You can violate by not passing the piss test. But being about it's like that, I did 2 years on that. They should have just like, oh, bro, this is last month, just wipe it out. They tried to give me like a year off that shit. You know what I mean? A year after I completed the 2 years of probation, my last month, they tried to give me like a year, and just being the same time I went to court and the judge is telling me he giving me a year. I'm looking at this white boy that's in there with a crazy felony. I forgot what he did. He did some wild joint, but either way, he was on probation, and his probation officer was telling the judge that he don't want him. He said he don't show up. He do this. He do all this stuff. I didn't show up. This dude got 5 new violations. You know what I mean? One was for not showing up, but the other one was like, he stole like over $10,000 from his girlfriend's dad. He was pressing charges. Yeah, he got caught with with his drugs. It was all that, and then the
And
one.
yours was just simple protesting.
No. At the time,
Uh,
mine was just I was on probation for this is back. I caught a charge back in like 2014 when I was selling drugs. You know what I mean? Yeah, like it was like that's what I'm saying. I did 2 years probation. It's like 2017. I thought I was good, but they came a year later and locked me up and said that I didn't show up the last joint and I wasn't completed. So it was a year later after I'm thinking I'm good. I ain't have nothing. I'm running around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they gave me so to watch that happen, being that boom, I didn't show up my last time, but I did 2 years of this joint, and I was in my last month. And I didn't show up my last month, and this dude got five violations. I watched him walk out of court, and I watched them take me in the back and give me, you know what I mean, give me a year. Crazy. So you sit in jail. You watch the white dudes come in and go out, having the same y'all be having the same defense lawyers, you know what I mean? The public defenders. You having the same public defenders, but they be having worse crimes than you. You watch them come in, while you coming in on that one charge, you watch them come in and go out like 3 or 4 times. In and out, boom, 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 boom. Bro. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, and he's like, wait a minute, what's going on?
Yeah, but that's the caveat to that, right? Somebody hearing you talk, they don't understand. Like somebody hearing like you express like the frustration within that and seeing that is that they don't understand like the environment that was, I guess, in our high school. You know what I'm saying? Like where we grew up in, the demographics, and when we mentioned earlier about the laughing and joking, man, like. Our joke time wasn't like the average place, bro. We just joking with cowboys, you know what I'm saying? Like you joking with you cracking on.
That's
like geeks, nerds, like you reaching across all barriers that usually are separated by thought, right? Yeah. And then you see, like for me personally, you see that environment that we all grew up in, and that nobody really had a space where unless we had our own interaction with some of the guys that were considered the Nazis or however that he did out that joint, like we ain't have like big race running. We kind of understood, right?
Yeah.
So you expressing that, right? Like having friends that are Caucasian, like close friends that are Caucasian and things like that, bro. I don't think people understand like the significance in what you're saying. You're not crying out saying something like it's not fair because I'm black. You like, nah, bro, like I was just sitting here watching this. Like go down and wait.
Looking at it. Yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm watching it. And it's the system, you know what I mean? And it's also why like a lot of us go through stuff. When you really sit back and just look at the whole thing, the whole thing is just
you there? Yo.
About the black on black crime and stuff that's going on in the hood, for it to be a liquor store in every corner in the hood, all that type of stuff, like in New York right now, they talk about the Bronx. Even the mayor, he talks about the Bronx. But they haven't did anything to help the Bronx out. They haven't cleaned the Bronx. The Bronx is the slums. It's the slums of the slums. Yeah. And they all say that. And they all say, oh, once Bronx on top, they will all be on top. But they don't put no money into the Bronx. They want the Bronx to be like that. They want them people to kill each other so they can point the finger. That gives them more reasons to hire more cops and get more officials. But it's all it's all designed to be like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, fact. So I guess to like kind of shape the conversation and where things are going, right? Like,
okay.
I didn't know, like normally we just run right in the conversation. I was told you I was pumped to have this conversation tonight, bro.
Yeah.
It's dope that it's dope to be back in contact with you. You know what I'm saying? Like your vibe is still the same. You know what I'm saying? Like just for a little bit, bro. Like tell me a little bit. Like tell the people like who are you and like what do you do exactly? So you speak about a lot about what you got going on and what the issues are in Brooklyn. What do you do to help? You know what I'm saying? Like what's your role? I know you do some stuff, but I'm gonna let you explain it. Like what do you do to kind of alleviate some of that pressure from the community in Brooklyn?
Okay. All right. Yeah. So That's what I'm saying. Like for the hood to look like that, right? So what I do is I try to for like black on black crime. What I do is I go into those neighborhoods. Like I got a mutual aid. I do mutual aid, and for people that don't know, mutual aid is it's just
It's like
it's
mutual
the
aid.
community. Yeah, trying to community, keeping each other safe, protecting each other. And we're trying to teach that, and we're trying to build community all through mutual aid. And I build my community right there in Bed-Stuy through hot food that I cook myself. And I got two
You
other.
cook, bro? What do you know about cooking, bro?
Huh? Oh, I'll be throwing down, bro. I'll be throwing down. See, I was a chef a couple years before I started this, before I started protesting.
Hey, bro, you literally is a jack of all trades over there.
Yeah, that's what I'm bro. That's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying all the time. Every time I get locked up, I come out of jail and get a new trade. And just boom, and I'll be nice at it. You know what I mean? I'll be like, I think I'll be having that ADHD shit. I'll just be like moving, like, I think I'm out. You know what I mean?
No, I got you, bro. That joint funny, man. No, but that's dope, bro. Because it's like that, like, do you still do? I know you mentioned earlier, like, you're not the jokester anymore that you used to be. Do you still have on stage?
Bro, I try. Like, I mean, because when I'm out there and like when we be bored, like at the protests and stuff, I started roasting the cops.
Start cutting up.
Be dying, bro. We be out there cracking up. And I be feeling like I can still do it.
Your roast still ignorance.
I'm super
Those roasts still hurt your feelings.
But the thing I don't flame it at people. Like, I swear. Like, bro, we sitting around joking, I'm telling you, I'll be sitting there like just, and people would just probably be flaming me, and I just be like, damn. Yeah. But when I get in front of them cops, I'm like in a whole different zone. And I try to get on stage and do comedy, but I'm just in a different headspace where I tried, and I would tell a joke, bro. This shit crazy. I would tell a joke, and it'd be kind of ignorant, and people would laugh, and then before you know it, I'm breaking it down on why they shouldn't be laughing.
That's you though. That's
that's crazy, yo. Everybody know I'm sitting up there like, man.
Hey, look at it, these shoes, bro. Everybody start laughing. Then you're like, nah, bro, that's messed up. That you gonna sit there and laugh?
You better hurt his feelings, bro. That's, you don't do stuff like that. Before you know, I'm schooling you, bro. And then before I'm preaching up there, it's not even no more jokes. Niggas will sit up there, yo, bro. I'm gonna send you a video. But I got my last comedy show was probably like a couple months ago after I broke my leg during protesting.
We gotta talk about that too, bro. That joint looks horrendous.
Yeah, but bro, I've done a lot out there, man. But yeah, that's what I say. That's when people always, because even black people, y'all don't march in the hood, y'all don't what y'all doing to stop black on black crime. And I said, that's what I do to stop on black crime. Yeah. That corner that I'm at in Bed-Stuy, when I first used to go out there with the food, people used to be arguing, fighting, used to be drug dealers, everything on that corner. Everything. So
how you end up getting so comfortable there? You know what I'm saying? Like it's a hood. You know, like how did you end up getting comfortable? Like, was it just off the protesting that you kind of seen like what was going on?
I think, I really think it's just I done move, bro. I done moved to all these. I done live. All right, so boom, I done live down there in Maryland. But we used to be in Baltimore all the time clubbing. We used to be. I lived in DC for a little bit, and out there in Prince George County. And I lived in Philly. When I was a kid, I lived in Detroit for about like 5-6 years. Yeah. And shit. Now I'm in New York. Like I just like. And once that shit happened in 2020, bro, I just went out there. We're just like, I'm just gonna do, you know what I mean? And just not whatever happens, and yeah, I do go into rough areas, bro. Like, and I just, you know what I mean? But now I go into those areas and it's, look, they're like, everybody know who I am. You know what I mean? Like, I've got the status. So
can't miss you, bro. You're like 6'8".
Yeah, and I'm always on the news. And then now it's like to the point where people call me for everything, bro. Like anything that happens on the news, I get the phone call. Like they need the help. Anything what the cops do, or people missing, I get that because I have a large reach all over the city, and I don't I live in Brooklyn, but before I moved there in 2001, but
Mm.
I mean 2021. But before I got to Brooklyn, I was in every borough, and I still am. Like if anything go on, I'm popping out there. I'll be in the Bronx, I'll be in Harlem, I'll be in Queens, I'll be in, you know what I mean? I'm all
Yeah,
around.
yeah. Well, like so, I know
But
you
yeah, that's
talking.
what I was saying. Like from mutual aid, that's what I do to stop black on black crime. It's putting the love into the hood. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so it's pretty much like community organization.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
it is.
We give out clothes, food, all types of tools.
Do
We
you
don't.
do you get like how do you get how do you get
I'll
people
do.
to support?
Yeah, I don't work with the government at all, so I'm not a nonprofit. When I first started off, I didn't know nothing like how the nonprofit joint operated, but I
Mm.
knew like the government gave some type of money, and in the beginning I was like, I'm gonna take that money from them and just give it to the people. But
Yeah,
then I started like, what I'm doing is I can't. I mean, just to show the people that I'm not using them at all.
yeah,
I don't, you know what I mean? So I had to scrap that. But I'm still getting funded by them because I like went inside that joint and I strong arm one of them
yeah,
people,
yeah,
like one
yeah.
of the city council people, like, I just
What
blasted them on the
what
ground.
strong arm
Like,
look like for you, bro? What's that? Like
oh,
how do you
oh
strong arm a politician, or how you strong arm?
bro, like any given time, bro, I get you know what I mean, throw a flyer and have mad people out. You know what I mean? We take the streets. So when I hit one of them city council officials and shit, and I'm like, you gotta when I tell them because my where I do my mutual aid is right up the street from his block,
Uh,
and he knows about me. His people done reached out to me, and just because I won't kiss his ass, you know what I mean? He wouldn't send us no money. Now, like I said, I'm not working with the government, so this is how strong arm him. I hit him up on the gram, and I've met him before. You know what I mean? I used to
yeah,
march with him. He used to be out here marching with us. He's a black dude, and I started ripping him. Like started talking like, bro, we used to march with each other, and now you're a city official. We voted for you to get in. And now what are you doing? You know I'm right down the street from your block. You know I've been out there for a year and a
you
half.
holding people accountable.
Yeah, hold people accountable, feed the people. And bro, I said, don't make me blast you because I will be at your door I said I will be at your office with a
Hey,
group
speaking of
protesting
being
every
at your
day.
door, bro, you serious about getting at your door, man? Like, what's
Oh yeah,
like
you see,
you be at
I went to the
you at the
mayor's
mayor
house.
door on a regular basis? Like, what?
Yeah, bro, I went to the mayor's house. I done went to cops' houses. You know what I mean? And I'll show
Yeah,
up deep, bro. I show up with like 100 people, like like
man. So, like, I think everything you're doing, man, is powerful, man, and dope. And I think that
yeah.
like that those in the community that work in your space, man, I think that you guys are like severely unrecognized. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah, but I think we getting our recognition now. I mean, especially me, but I just and that's because of the nonstop. It's because when
it's
the
because of
George
that 3 years for every week.
yeah that
Yeah, the
yeah
consistency.
when that George Floyd joint happened, right?
Mhm.
My kids, I told you they messed my kids up,
Yeah,
and they wanted me to get a dog. They was like they wouldn't let me. I had them for the. I think I had them for like 2 weeks or something. Like it was summertime. It was ping ponging back and forth between me and their mom,
mm.
and um, this is when I was still working before I started protesting. Like the George Floyd thing happened, and I've seen we've seen Mad and Freddie Gray. We've seen all these joints come and go. So I mean, I was chilling and they were like going crazy. They were going crazy for me to pick out a dog. I got a dog now, you see. But yeah, they were going crazy for me to get a dog to protect myself. Because when
that's
they seen
wild
that
though when your
George,
kids worried about your protection and you the father. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
that puts you in a different
yo,
mindset. So I understand the urgency behind that, bro. And you
from the
for you,
cops. Yeah, from the cops. You
yeah,
know what I mean? And I'm
yeah.
like, what the heck? So when they first said it, I started laughing. Like, I don't need no dog, boy. You know I am talking trash to him. Like, I beat a cop ass. Talking that, and I went to sleep, and it was like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. They night owls. They stay up to like 3 or 4 o'clock. But they was waking me up. It was like 1:30 in the morning, and they was waking me up. I'm like, what y'all doing? And it was like, Dad, can you just like find the dog before we go to sleep? I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah. I got
what?
you.
And they were dead serious because the next morning they had to go to their mom, and they knew they was leaving. We was leaving early, so they knew they was gonna be asleep on the ride.
Hey,
So
bro, like, what kind of space did that put you in, bro? Like, I know it ain't hit you like right away when they was talking about it, but when you said by
it didn't
yourself,
hit me the first time.
Like you said the first time.
The second time, I kind of got mad, like, well, you know, and I was like, all right, I'll get one, because they both was like doing that joint. So boom, I put them back in the bed, and I sat there. I sat up. I couldn't go back to sleep, and I started crying. And the next day at work, I was sitting there working. I started thinking about that shit, and I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, my kids ain't never encountered no goddamn cops. And it's like, I'm just thinking like, damn, they gotta go through everything I went through.
Yeah, man, that's a scary part, bro. Because like a lot of the things, I'm sure the things you went through was kind of like me, especially with the police, right? You just minding your business, and then you get
nonstop, bro.
You just get
especially when I came out here to Jersey, nonstop.
You just get done dirty for no reason. You minding your business, and depending on how they feel, and they running up on you. And it starts for a lot of us, man. Like you said, in a lot of places that you don't even have to be. You don't even have to be a resident in that area, right? If you just walking through, or you hollering at your cousins, and you coming through, man. You put out of a liquor store, police throw you against the wall asking where the gun's at. You're like, hey, bro, I ain't even from around here. You get robbed. For me, I got robbed by the police on Christmas Eve. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, and a lot of the times, bro, I think the mission gets confused, right? Because I think the media tries to make it a black or white thing, right? But it's not. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a people versus the government type of issue as far as civil rights and fair treatment. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's in a space, bro, when you look at how people respond to the police, like the media now act like you're out of your mind for saying the things that you're saying or speaking against the things you're speaking on, or you shouldn't be speaking on anything about it anyway, right? Yeah. But then you look at it and you see the impact of a George Floyd, right? And then you turn around and you see, I forgot where it was, the black officer killed the white lady in, was it Arizona or something a couple years back? I can't remember that joint was, but it went away so quickly without like the media push, without like what really happened and how the follow through on it, you know what I'm saying? And then you find out that the police officer didn't get convicted or something like that. So it's a space like now we just starting to do the conviction and we just starting to do this stuff. My mind is people messed up, and to bring it back to what we talk about in the show, bro, is like this show was to bring awareness to mental illness in a different type of way, right? It's just talking about real stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then showing the implications that it has on a person with mental health. I think it's just the impact it has on a person outside of mental health or mental about mental illness.
Did you see what happened with Jordan Neely?
No, what was that? I might have. The name ain't familiar. What happened with it?
Oh man, look, that's what we out there going crazy for.
Tell me about that, bro.
It was worse than George Floyd to me. They let the white man choke out the
that was on the subway. That was on the subway.
Yeah,
the guy choked the.
Oh, you ain't
he
seen we got
was
justice
hungry.
for that?
I've seen. Yeah, I'm aware. I'm hip.
All right. Do you see that we got justice for that?
Yeah.
All right, bro. Did you hear me? We did that. Me, right? You see?
I heard you on that joint, bro.
Yo, go back and look at my page, bro.
I know that. You got the picture of my man cut out on there.
Yo, bro, we went crazy. You feel me? We went crazy for like 3 days. But that's why they shut down my protest now. That's why you see. That's why they got us on the sidewalk and all that, because we went crazy. We stopping trains and everything. Like, wait a minute, y'all can't.
Hey, bro, you wild out there on the protest, man. I think I see you riding the hood of a car last year, the year before, in front of the police station.
Bro, I turned into a demon out there. But look, that's why they just like, yo, that's why I got my way with them. But it was, like, after I came out there when that shit happened with my kids, I dropped everything, bro. I quit my job. I left my family and everything. And I went out. I just jumped on that train to New York, going out there to protest.
So was that something that was that reaction? It may seem random to some people. Was that something that you like? That's the civil rights thing and the unfair treatment. Was that something that's always been put on at your heart? And then you just feel like you was just stand away from it or something, and then that was the place where you was just like, you know what, bro? All right, man, I can't not do anything else.
Yeah, my first time getting locked up, I was like 5 years old, and they like put me. They put the
what,
cuffs
bro?
on me
What did you possibly get locked up for at 5?
Still out the toy store. But I was with some older kids, And they had me like, yo, it was summertime, and them niggas had me with a jacket on. And I was in kindergarten, but my mom worked at Toys R Us, so I was spoiled. Me and my brother was
Okay.
spoiled, so we didn't need all that. And I actually, you know, I mean, I got in trouble for hanging with dudes or whatever like that. But when we got caught, I just remember pulling all the shit out of my pocket, like, I got this. I was bragging to the dude, look, I grabbed this, and I remember looking at the.
Can't hear you, bro. You went out on me real quick. Hey, Chris, I see you. Hey, bro, I can't hear you. Like, I think you froze up. Yo, your volume. I can't hear you. Can't see. Can't hear you. Yeah, I can't hear you. Your audio. Hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can let him know real quick. We can't hear him. Give me 1 second. No, he can't. I don't think he can. Hey, bro, I can't. Like the audio went out on your end. Could nobody hear anything? You was going off too. I could see you were talking about something.
Oh shit! All right, come back.
All right, bet. All right, he about to come back. Bear with us, y'all. This streaming thing ain't perfect. You're right, Chris. My man over there going in. He was saying something he was passionate about. Hey, Chris, I understand you at work. Get your grind on, man. You're always working.
Yo, you hear me?
I'm back. You back, bro?
All right.
No, my bad, bro.
What was I talking about? Oh yeah, nah, nigga be talking to himself and shit, bro.
You remember where you left off at?
No, I was just shit. I don't know where I cut off at. Y'all remember where I cut off at?
Nah, you was going in, bro. You was talking for a minute. I kept going like this to tell you. You was
Was I talking about me talking about myself?
You were talking about the like I know it was right before that. I was talking about turning up and getting the results and the justice for my man on the subway.
Oh yeah, Jordan Neely. Look, so that was all of us. You know what I mean? That was all of us like turning up. You know what I mean? Like all the organizers, and that was like, bro, I don't think all of us came together in a minute, but you know we came together on that one, and we
my bad, bro. Hey, somebody mentioning they said you were left off at getting arrested as a kid. As a my bad, my attention span, my ADHD.
Yeah, go ahead.
So no, it was the they said that you were talking about getting arrested. I'm gonna put it on the screen now so they can see that joint. They said you were talking about getting arrested as a kid at 5 years old and then stealing. They were putting stuff in you how that played out.
Oh yeah, so
thank you, Rosie. My bad, bro.
I know Rosie. What's up, Rosie? But hanging with the boy from across the street. He was like in 3rd or 4th grade or something like that. He was older, cat had me out there stealing. But anyways, we got caught, and they had stuck me in the adult cell. You know, they handcuffed us together, and you see how skinny my arm is. They like tightened us up and joint, and then they had me in the adult cell for about like an hour. I think it was like an hour and a half. But I was in there going crazy. 5 years
old, bro.
Yeah, 5. Instead of bro, at that age, you're supposed to, sit the kid in the room and have a talk with him. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, so give me like touching on that. Man.
I think they were trying to do some scared shit.
What does that look like what are you dealing with mentally as a 5-year-old, as how you look at life moving forward after that? You know what I'm saying? Like, is that where you think that passion
after that? But that's what unlocked me, because after that, then it was, my mom ain't with my ass nothing, but she took me home, and that's what I said, like the first that was my, the lesson on birds and bees. It was you got to watch out for the white man. And she showed me that was when she got me out of jail, she showed me do the right thing. I wanted to do the right thing like at 5. You know what I mean? And when she used to show us these movies, she used to break it down to us. So it was like, I see, you know what I mean? She always took us to see, like shit. Even when I was going to elementary school out there in Marley, I think it was like 93, bro. Like 93, It's Marley Elementary. I think it was Marley Elementary. We went to see like Malcolm X. You know what I mean? But I think I was like third or second grade when that shit came out, and I remember just like what I mean. I remember the impact of that. Yeah.
But like, it's
think,
crazy, bro. Cause like
third or
knowing
fourth
you back
grade, I
then,
did
right?
like two. Huh?
I said it's crazy because like knowing you back then, right? Like I moved out in Glen Burnie in '96, right? But so like that, like even coming out of Montgomery County, like the environment was different. I kind of enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to comfortably reach across barriers and things like that, experience different things, right? But then on the other side of it, bro, like it's another side of it for you specifically because I'm watching you move through these relationships and genuinely care about people, right? But then I hear this side of it on how you were, your experiences and how your mom grew you for your protection. So how did how did you at a young age like that, bro? How did you figure out how to move in and out of those spaces like that without offending anybody or not and having the boundaries to not get offended? You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense.
Tough skin. I think moving. We kept, we was moving around a lot. I told you, see how I just told you I jumped around as an adult. So I'm used to just moving around. Always switching schools. Like I went to Marley Elementary, then I went to Oakwood, then we went to school in Jersey, then we came back down, went to Corcoran, then Marley Middle, then Glen Burnie. Like I was, you know what I mean? I was just hopping. We so I'm used to and then the different states of new slang and talking different and people making fun of you about that. So it was like we always me and Teron, not Teron, but I used to get jumped all the time because I was always, you know what I mean? Teron was supposed to stay in the house, but I was always outside. And just having leather skin, you saw it. Then by shit you saw by the time we was in high school.
Yeah, people confused. Funny as I don't know what, but hey, you cross it over.
That's all. That's where that comes from. You know what I mean? Yeah. I fought bullies, and I was just a jokester. Like I just loved to have fun. It was cool with everybody. But if you was a dickhead, I was coming to see you, and that was you know what I mean. That's how it was now. Like if you look at me now, I'm still. Them cops are bullies, and I'm still out here fighting bullies.
So it's crazy, when you think about the whole thing of it, man. So you're right. So going back to what you said earlier, bro, when you mentioned you don't do comedy because of the space that you're in mentally, right? You think that your fight made you more serious, or you can't find joy or a good reason to laugh like that, such tough topics. Or fighting for such a tough issue.
It's because bro, you see how raunchy I am, right? But it's not. I can find
you keeping it cool. You keeping it cool tonight though on the show though. I appreciate that.
I can if I really sit down, but before it used to be natural. Now it's feeling like I gotta forced to do it. And before when I used to do it, bro, I used to have little thoughts and ideas, but I used to mainly just get up on stage and freestyle. Just come up with, you know what I mean? And then if my freestyle wasn't working, I used to just start roasting niggas in the crowd until you know what I mean? I figure out something else, but I can just run my mouth and make people laugh, but it's
off the top.
It's you said it again?
I said off the top too, on demand.
Oh yeah, all the time. But so now it's like I said, when I hear other people the last comedy show I was listening to other people's jokes and I still did my thing, bro. I was just like I said, I tell a joke and before I know I feel like I had to explain it to them. Nah, and then before I know it, that's not what I want to do. I feel like I don't want to tell jokes anymore. They come naturally or some shit like that. Like I'm doing this podcast. I feel like I'm better at doing some shit like that where I can, instead of me getting up there telling jokes, but I feel like now I'm not wasting no time on nothing I don't.
That's fair. You froze or you there, bro? Yo.
I want to just keep trusting and believing what I'm doing is the right path because everything feels right and stuff falls in my path. I haven't hit. You know what I mean? I don't know if you be watching my stories, but I'll be going through my, you know what I mean, my episodes where I'm damn near crying every week and shit, because it's a rough job, bro. It's
So that's what.
and then like they have people get a job. Like, bro, that's the hardest shit I ever did in my life. I feel like I'm everything, bro. Like you know what I mean? I'm doing shit that I didn't sign up for, but that's what the job calls for. And I'm not the best, but I try to push people in the best direction to get that. But at the same time, it wears a toll on me. That's why I have like I'm constantly like every week I'm around, you know what I mean, talking to people. It doesn't matter because I have to be, because on a Thursday I'm doing my own actions. And if I'm not doing other people's shit. So I have, you know, you have to set boundaries. You know, you have to set boundaries on your friends, boundaries on your own time for yourself. Stuff that you can't be
Hey, hold on 1 second, bro. Hey, you have a good night, Chris. Enjoy the rest of the night. Go home and chill. I know you had a hard day at work. My bad, bro. Go ahead, bro. I'm still learning to balance these comments and keep the show, keep the conversation going. It's a little tough for me.
Yeah,
go ahead, bro. My bad.
All right.
She rolled out. So can you hear me?
Yeah.
So like we coming up on an hour, bro, and like you saying a lot of insightful stuff, right? What like your work and where you are, man? Like where would you say that had
like static?
Huh?
It's like static.
I was catching the same thing. Hold on 1 second. Let me see. Is that me or you? Let me get this back, see if we can figure this out. About to bring you back one now, bro.
All right.
Any different?
It's a little thing. I get you better. I want
a little better. It might be you, bro. Nah, but no, man. Like, what kind of space like have you noticed it? Like, I know you mentioned like you had like when you mentioned your episodes on your stories and things like that about your crying every week. Like, do you consider like this job has you in a state of depression? And if your answer is yes to that, right, or you're not sure, like, is that job worth like your mental health, and why?
Yeah, because I'm learning a lot about myself. Like, I think it's making me stronger. I'm thinking like, in the beginning, I think like the first year run, I was good. I was running off of rage, and I wasn't really running off. Yeah, I think like in the very beginning, I was running off rage, and then shit slowed down a little bit, and then I got more focused. But I think it started affecting me mentally. You got it, probably it's definitely got to affect me mentally. Just be like spewing all that hate all the time. But especially because, like I said, I was just joking, but I really be getting mad sometimes. Like sometimes,
hey bro, hold your phone in the air to see if it affects the audio. I said, hold your phone in the air and see if it impacts. Make it better or not. I think it is, bro.
All right, hold on, wait. I'm about to go outside.
1 second, y'all.
I think that should be zipping in and out of the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. You.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can't quite hear if it's still static or not. Say something.
All right.
Still static. Nah, you good, bro. 1 second, folks, while we sort this out. Now, we're just talking about Rel and the mental implications of the protest and what comes with that. He was talking a little bit about, the how he expresses some of the some of his low moments, with dealing with this battle or this fight that he's dealing with. And a lot of things, man, like I think it's dope that he's having this conversation, man, because it gives insight into what what most people don't think of. You think the people on the front lines, man, they like these are some fierce fighters and warriors that kind of like have a callus on them, and a callus on their skin to not take things a certain way, but then you find out like they impacted just like we are, right? And then it's like, okay, the average person getting to that space, and you just like, man, like I know I wouldn't want to keep going into a space where I got to keep getting let down and getting all that other stuff going on, man. But I think it's dope that people like Rel, man, find that fire from something negative, but then use it for something positive. I'm about to bring Rel back on now. You.
Yeah.
I think you froze it down. Yo,
can you hear me?
Say something, bro. Much better.
You hear me? Okay, bet.
I can hear you now. You good?
You sound better.
Yeah. No, like so. I was telling everybody, man. Like I think that the way you breaking it down and bringing attention to the mental health implications that come with the work you do, bro. I think that's not normally shined on because we, the people in the front line usually think of them as strong warriors with strong skin that can kind of take anything. But then, like you said, you express it on your you express the lows of it on your Instagram stories, and it's pretty it's pretty emotional, right? Do you have an out? Like how do you escape from
in the beginning?
Huh?
That was my little therapy was like telling my just letting it go because just letting it just I guess just telling somebody I tried getting a therapist. Well, I had a therapist, and I got into it right before like one of my sessions.
I think you froze again, yo. Hey, Ro, try to refresh again. One second, folks.
Let's see. Yo, I'm back, bro. I don't know what's going on.
Hey, man, look, one thing I learned is patience dealing with the streaming stuff, man. Don't worry. One day we're going to be on the podcast. It's going to be live. We're getting there. But right now, this is where we start.
Hold on. What happened? It's over?
No, we good. You on?
Okay.
I can hear you. Everything back on.
Okay.
You said you were trying to find when we left off, you were talking about the therapist and how that relationship went and, what that outlook.
Oh, yeah. I got into a beef with one of my, me and one of my friends started arguing and shit, and it was like a couple minutes before, I had to talk to my therapist, so I was just like, nah. I was like, when I get, you know what I mean?
You don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, I want to talk, and therapist, it works for some people, and some people just don't. You know what I mean?
You got to find your own way to
She was asking me questions. I wanted to ask her questions too. What do you like? You know what I mean? You ain't gonna play games with me. I'm play games with you.
Yeah. Now that's real, bro.
She be like, focus. That's real. You got to focus. I just be like, man, I don't even want to do this.
Look, you already don't want to talk when something bothers you anyway. You already don't feel comfortable talking about or expressing. You won't normally talk about it.
And her, she, I mean, that's what they do, but I was still at the beginning stage with her, and she wanted to keep bringing up traumatic stuff all the time. And then, it was every week I was on the phone, you know what I mean, crying with her, and she would tell me it was good, but she got the phone. I'm still going through my little emotions, what the fuck, why did I even bring shit? And this is stuff from in my past. I was like, why did I even bring that up? What in the hell?
But you know what though, bro? I feel you more than you think on that, right? And that's the part where, like you said, that's kind of the uphill battle when trying to get folks to go, especially us, bro, as men, man, going to therapy, right? Yeah. Because it puts you in a space where, it kind of hold the only way you can get through, and I've learned dealing with my bipolar disorder, right? And some of the traumas I experienced growing up, a lot of the things that I was running away from early on, bro, I didn't want to talk about. I learned that, especially in this space now, it's a lot easier for me to go back and touch on some of them areas, right? But the way that made me feel, bro, the way you saying it, man, it's I gotta think about this again, bro. It's the stuff that almost killed me back then, and I really ain't though how I made it all up now. Now you want me to talk about this stuff? You know what I'm saying? So I think the process of getting a therapist, man, is it stretches us, especially as Black men, right? It stretches us out of our comfort zone. But I think a lot of it, man, where therapy is like dating. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't have that space.
Find the right one.
you gotta find the right one, right, bro? Because I literally had like black dudes, man, and I'm sitting in front and talking to them, and these people this man can't relate to me or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, so my therapist is like, her name is Emily. She's like, I think she's in her mid-30s, and she's a white woman, but she knows me, and she's been there since I got out of the hospital, right? So it's in a space where your therapists don't always like number one, it's hard as hell to find a therapist and get on the books to get one. Number two, once you happen to get on the books, trying out two therapists is probably within the span of 6 months, where you know what I'm saying, like one in September. I mean, I'm sorry, one in January. The next visit you have to meet with somebody else is in June. You know what I'm saying? So realistically, you're not in a space, man, and want to keep talking about shit, and then you hang up the phone after an hour. Now you got to deal with your demons and things like that, bro. The only way I was able to deal with my demons, man, was 30 days of partial hospitalization program, like somewhere intense therapy, showing me like giving me a break, like a crash course on all the overwhelming emotions that I was feeling my entire life, and getting diagnosed at 55. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you find out, like, bro, this shit is work. Like, man, and then you start to understand like why people don't go into these spaces, man, because that's a lot of work, man, to start with somebody and then leaving on your own, right? And you have to deal with this stuff on your own and sit quietly with it. And they say, hey, we're gonna call you back next week. And you like, bro, like, so what am I supposed to do now? Like, cry this shit out until the next meeting and tell you how I feel.
yo, because they don't leave you with no answers, though, bro. They just make you.
It's professional.
No answers, bro. They just.
So how do you feel? How do you think you feel that way?
Notice
how the people around you
want to show me the chart at the end of the shit. Like, how you feel? Like get this shot there chart out of here.
Nah, but that's a process, bro. Like I understand. It's just like, I'm gonna ask you, bro, just to be patient on that shit, man, because ain't no way in hell, bro. You've been dealing with this trauma since 5 years old, and you all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, or you don't want to deal with this shit.
You know, some of the stuff, you know, she would ask me about something, and I'll bring it up, but it's like, I really never thought of it.
How it impacted you, right?
She made me think of it to the point where I'd be like, damn. I'm like, that's right. You know what I mean? And with certain shit that I was starting, I was like, man, she making me like go crazy out this joint, bro. And I'm like, I got shit to think about that I got to do out here this week. Like,
bro.
Like, nah, man. And plus, like I said, I argued with my friends, and then I didn't feel like doing it because I was already in a bad mood, and I didn't want her to like mess because I had my kids there. Like me, when I get in a funky mood, I'll be in that joint for like a day or two. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you.
I cannot like try not to be sad and shit, but it still be written all over my face, like I can't hide it or something like that. And even if I try not to, this shit, I still like, you know what I mean, tears start crying and shit like that. So it's like, you know what I mean? I just like, I try to stay out of those kind of spaces only when I need to get into it. And it's like, before, I never used to cry at all, besides like, you know what I mean, at one of my family members' funerals. I didn't, you know, I had friends died and everything. I ain't never like, you know what I mean, shed tears. I used to feel funny about that. But now it's like, shit, when these shits get to falling, they just be going.
Yeah. Hey, bro, do you ever miss that part? I know for me, right? My brother told me one day, and it hit me like, when I first started talking about the things I was dealing with, I made a post about when I stopped like being so lighthearted and when I really just started taking everything a little bit more serious than I used to, right? My brother hit me with, you know, my Brandon, right? He hit me with the like, after I put a post, he called me and was like, hey, yo, I used to wonder why you just stopped laughing and why you weren't smiling like you used to. And it was like you get surprised how one thing.
I was shocked too, bro. I ain't gonna lie, but go ahead.
What'd you say? You know what I'm saying, like, bro, like
I still be zinging jokes at Lenny. Well, I used to. I talked to Lenny. Well, last time I talked to Lenny was when they had put me all in the news for some other joint, and they had me like on Vlad TV or something. The niggas sent me the shit like, yo, be low.
He came at you, bro.
Yeah, he was like, yo, you on Vlad? Yo, you gotta lay low.
No, if you made Vlad, boy, you definitely gotta lay low, dog. Like,
I even hit that nigga up for an interview. I'm like, yo, don't post me and not give me no talking. Like, where my interview at, nigga? I got a lot to say.
Oh, that's funny, bro. But I think it's dope, man. Like like that you're passionate and leading you to some type of platform. I mean, you got interest, you got people on, whether you're bullying your way on or not, or you're strong arming or not, bro. These people are like, all right, well, go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, I give it to you. And it ain't everybody, but the fact that you finding those yeses in between, even though they don't want to do it, they know, like they can, number one, they're not gonna do that unless they know your purpose is pure, right? Number two, like they understand, like if anybody who knows or understands you across your path know like the type of guy that you are. So if they see you in that space where you in the bullhorn and you yelling and you clowning the police officer the way you calling them, like you use a profanity in their face the way you are, the average person don't understand like that for you to show that part of you, that's enacted off of what you feel you need adequate like action, like it needs to happen immediately. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think it's dope.
That's what we put for immediate change.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's dope, bro. And I think that, like, number one, man, I'm gonna tell you, like, because this is the platform that I am, like, bro, like, keep looking for a therapist. Because there ain't no fucking way, boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was dealing with my shit since I was about 8. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that friction or that I guess that turbulence or whatever, that resistance that I felt, bro, like getting to that space to where I am now, man. Like, if I didn't go through that and I didn't push through it and I didn't talk about it, man, I'm talking about it, I figured out, like, damn, that's what messed me up. Damn, that's why I respond to a situation like that, like, and it seems irregular to other people.
Yeah.
You get to a space when you start, like, just recently, bro, I really sat back and think, I don't know if I mentioned on the podcast episode before, but I was sitting down journaling, bro, and I was thinking, like, damn, like, I noticed that whenever I'm in an uncomfortable sexual situation, like whether it's with my spouse or growing up, growing up and going through that space, like, I used to think I was impotent, right? But then as I'm sitting here processing it now that I've been talking for a year and I'm not afraid to run to touch those spaces for a minute, I'm in a space of like positive processing, right? So I'm like, damn, I got molested. Yeah, it's fucked up. And it still fucks me up to this day, right? But then on the other side of it, I feel better because I'm like, when Shorty called me gay back in the day, it was I ain't like girls. I know that this shit was attached to my trauma. So if I'm not comfortable with you, well, I don't feel a connection, it's not me, it's you. I'm not going out there. I'm not going to sacrifice what I'm feeling and what I'm not feeling to make you think that to confirm you in your mind that I like women. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it like dealing with the stuff that we deal with, man, it puts you in a different space of understanding, bro, at a young age, right? And it's funny because that's like in high school, man. I had a couple people on here from high school, man. You know, Kathy was on the first episode, and I still talk to a lot of people like Hayden, Jawan, and we
Hayden.
Huh?
How's Hayden? I talked to Jawan. I still follow Kathy, but I haven't seen Hayden. How Hayden doing?
Man, Hayden good, bro. You know Hayden the pastor, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying?
What?
Hey, everybody get the same results, bro. It'd be funny. I tell him every time. I tell him, like,
what?
I'm like, yo, Hayden the pastor. They was like, hey, ooh, black? Like, no.
Oh, no. I know Hayden was a pastor.
Okay.
I'm talking about Cedric. What about Cedric?
What you say?
What about Cedric?
I seen Sad on Facebook, bro. I said, my man look like he in the gym every day, all day.
yeah, that's how I see. Like, yo,
No, but I was like, I do breeze past on my timeline. I see good things, so I see my man like knowing what Sad was, man, like, and where he fought through and where he is now, bro. Like, it feels good to see like your the people you grew up with and that you were genuinely cool with, man. Like, make it through their obstacles and make it through, and stay persistent despite thrown at them. You know what I'm saying? Despite choices made and things like that. So it's just in that space, man, where I was talking before. I can't remember who I was talking with, but it was in a space like, bro, like we went. Oh, Chris, it was with Chris, the co-host on here, and he was like Chris Williams.
Oh, Chris Williams.
Yeah, so he was in a space, man, where Chris was like, he was like, bro, ain't it crazy? Like all of us like had like real light personalities. Like we would laugh, we would joke a lot. We ain't always catch us too serious. But like, bro, we were dealing with some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody was putting on that face, like everything was like cool and we was always up for a joke, man. But it was in those spaces where it's just like when you sit back and look, you like, bro, like I know Jawan's story, I know Hayden's story, he went through some stuff. So I know you was cool with Mike and Roddy and everybody like that. So I'm like, that. So when you put that together, bro, you like, bro, how do we stay so lighthearted?
Yeah. But see me, I used to all the shit I used to be going through or shit I used to feel. That's why I used to mess with the bullies. I used to take all my like when me and Teron used to fight at home and anything I used to go through at my house, I used to bring it to school and find a bully to pick on. Like fine, you know what I mean? That's how I got into my fights.
You dare used to end up in the weird, like you like, bro, how Rel get in a fight with, like, how did that even happen?
yeah, yo, I was out there. That's what I used to do. You know what I mean? Or start picking with them, or get into, like, you know what I mean, or say certain stuff to make them want to fight. But
Hey,
that's
look,
what I do now. Like, I take all the and that's how my energy is still the same, because I sit there, I watch the TV, I hear, and now that, you know what I mean, the staple that I'm in the community now, you know, like I said, people reach out to me a lot. I hear about everything, even stuff that, you know what I mean, where it doesn't have to do with the police. I hear about, you know, people, you know, that is in need. I get all types of random stuff. Like, I think I did my mutual aid, and then I protested, and after my protest, I'm all the way home in Brooklyn, and then somebody, I see these people that I felt fed at the mutual aid all the way in, like, Manhattan. Somebody showing me a video where the cops are trying to, like, you know what I mean, send them to you know, that the crazy spot where they gotta sit there for 72 hours. Yeah. And I had to tell them, like, yo, wait right there. I'm gonna, you know what I mean? And me and my other friend had to jump in the Uber and shoot over there, you know, to put them in the me and Rosie, that's all I had to jump in the Uber and take them and send them, like, you know what I mean, to the to the hospital. So it's you know, like, it's a lot, bro. It's a lot I do, you know what I mean? And,
so like, bro, like, how you, like, I know in that space, man, you gotta feel like you're not doing enough. Like, with everything you're doing, I know it's times when you like, bro, like, I'm doing this, but I need to be doing, like, so much more. Like, how do you cope in that space, and how do you cope in a space where, like, how do you pick yourself out of them episodes? You know what I'm saying? Like, when you get to those lows, like, what does that look like when you pull yourself out of that?
Oh, it's all about structure and balance. That's what I said, and making sure you do. That's why I said, you know, I got a lot of friends out there, but it's only certain ones that I let come over and hang around me on an everyday basis. But that's you know what I mean. Like I said, it's setting my boundaries and picking and not feeling it's self-care, man, and not just
feeling like give me an example of, like, one of your boundaries, if you don't mind, like, explain this, just to give an idea of, like, what your boundaries look like in that space. Like, how do you have I know for me, like, as a mentor, bro, like, my wife was emphasizing, like, you gotta have boundaries. Like, people shouldn't be calling you at 11 o'clock about their kids, like, despite what you do, right? So what is that boundary look like for you?
As far as like when people hit me, I just answer what I feel like it. But I mean, I'm usually all the way on. I'm usually, like, but you know what I mean. You know, you can see the notification when you want to. But yeah, like, as far as people popping up over my house, like,
so what you feel like so give me
me up.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead. You good? I think what you finish. Go ahead. My bad.
I want to say, like, one of the things that burned me up is, like, you know, being out here, people using you. You know what I mean? Or people, I've been out here for like 3 years, right? So I march every week, nonstop. And it's people that I've been out there with in the beginning that are not out here now, but they only pop up when, you know what I mean? It's big time, like when I'm on the news or something. You know what I mean? Like when they know it's going to jump off, but then when they show up, they feel because they've been out or they know me for so long, they can just, you know, regulate or do, you know, certain stuff at the march, or they come to, like, you know, the mutual aid and do. It's just like, you know, people, you know, taking advantage and using your kindness for weakness, or people are always trying to get over on you instead of being, like, just straight up genuine about why they're around you or what they doing. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's the only thing that burns me up. But that's what is just, you know, learn to identify that, and when you do it, don't just keep letting people do it. Just start setting your boundaries.
Yeah. That's real, bro. Like,
that's how you keep your own mental, and you got to.
But in that space, like, you need to have people you trust, right? Like, so how do you balance that? Like, so hold up, real quick. My mother just hit me and said we over time, bro. Actually, It's an hour, but yes, the title gives us grace to where it says the talkative thinkers. So I gave us max of an hour and 30 minutes. So we still got like 13 minutes on here.
Yeah.
I'm about to go ahead and close it up, though, man. Thank you for watching, though. I got you.
Fire. Whatever, shoot up, whatever. I answer.
No, so I think like for the last couple of guests, man, I usually have like a structure, like a way to close out. Let me make sure like I'm covering everything. Like so. When you were talking to the council, when you were down at City Hall and you were talking about the things you were talking about as far as like you've been out there for like every week for 3 years and the emotion you had behind that, bro, like I know you tired, right? But then you go in there to the spaces where the people that need to talk to ain't trying to talk to you, and when they talking, they ain't talking to you, they talking to the cameras, right? Like so, like how long do you see yourself doing this, like realistically, without it, like?
Oh no! I mean, I be getting tired, but you know, when I get out there, I feel good. When I go feed them people, I feel good. It's just the everything else that's you know what I mean. But
hold on 1 second, bro. My dog being a jerk. She's been whining for like the last 45 minutes. Let me let her out real quick. Come on, oh, come on. My bad, bro. Go ahead.
No, I was saying, I feel good. It's just like I said, the distractions of you know, outside of that. But as far as the City Hall, like I come up with new tactics. Like I said, like they stopped us from taking the streets, so we do the sidewalk. But I figure out tactics to like make them look crazy on the sidewalk. You know what I mean? With the City Hall joint, I already told like I'm not doing that no more. Where I go in there and I sit. Anytime I go in there, it's gonna be a disruption.
Why did you have the new mindset? What made you change? Your approach changed with that?
Oh, because they didn't change. So
really?
You put the pressure. That's the pressure. That's the pressure. And I instruct people like every time they see one of these City Hall meetings now, it's like we go in there, we gonna do something instead of sitting there hours and then because I just went to one the other day, but I left to go do something else, but. The City Hall Council, they talk to you know what I mean? They do exactly that. They talk amongst each other, then they try to showboat for us so we can cheer for them. And then when it's our turn to talk, they always leave out and they leave us with one or two of them, and they don't even be paying attention. They be on their phone and looking around and stuff. So the first meeting I did it like that, and they did
what they legit you talking to them and they in that phone. You talking about to them about life-saving issues. They be like,
if you hear me, I tell them, don't do that to me. That's good. I was looking at them.
You said that? Oh, yeah. Rose again, yo.
Yeah, because I'm telling them, like, like, focus on me.
How you maintain your anger?
Huh? What'd you say? Dev.
Yeah. I said, it's like the amount of like emotional risk. You hear me?
Yeah.
I think you went out again. I think I'm freezing up now.
Yeah. All right. You good now?
That's me freezing this time.
Yeah.
I think we've been on too long.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now, bro?
I can hear you.
That joint going back and forth from me to you.
I can hear you. Good.
All right, bet. Hey, nah, man, like so closing up the show. You hear me now?
Yeah.
All right, bet. All right, so like closing out the show, man, like what triggers you in that space when you have those low episodes that you were talking about on your Instagram story? Like what triggers that?
It be recently I guess sometimes like not having the right person to talk to at that time. Or you know what I mean? Yeah, being lonely and shit, you know what I mean? Because when people around me, I'm good, but when I actually got time to sit back and think, and there's nothing on TV that got my mind or something like that.
Yeah.
And I started thinking about my shit.
You left with them thoughts. Yeah, like you left. Yeah, I think Kendrick had in one of his songs, man, where he was like 2:00 in the morning, ain't nobody answering. Only thing I'm left with is this reflection and look like a Amityville horror. You know what I'm saying? Like so.
Yeah.
Like I don't think people realize like how many men find themselves in that situation, bro. Like you hear rappers saying that, and people think they got a life like that, but then you come to the side of it and you hear you mention it in a way, and you know what I mean? Like so when my bad, what'd you say?
No, that's no, finish that. I want to say what you said when you finished.
No, I was just it's just people don't like a lot of people don't take into consideration like because we don't show it, right? Like we can't show it in that space because we gotta have we need you to believe that we are strong, we're okay. Just because we're expressing it in that way or we feel that way doesn't mean like it's an act of submission or an act of giving up. But you do want to be on a space sometime where you just like, bro, I'm tired, dog. Like, and this is why, right? And the crazy thing you mentioned about that, when you make them calls or you need somebody to talk to, nobody's ever answering the phone after that phone call. And it's not because they don't want you. It's just how life works out sometimes, right? And then that's how I got into the space, man, where my relationship with God became so important to me because that was the only person I was left with. Me, my thoughts, and God was the only thing that could pull me out of that space. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's like I said, go back to why I do this show, bro. It's just that from talking to a lot of the people that I came in contact with, and my friends, my family, bro. Like I hated talking about the things that I went through, bro, and how I felt, and explaining like I don't like explaining myself. You know what I'm saying? Like if you feel a certain type of way, man, feel that way, I just let you go ahead and buy that. But then coming on here, man, talking about some of the things that I feel, man, like it's because of those conversations that I had with my homeboys. Some of them aren't here anymore to suicide, right? And I understand like how that hole they were trying to climb out of and how that hole that got so deep that where everything they were doing right, that they just get hopeless, right? So it's in that space, man, where it's to bring awareness, man, like, nah, bro, we all feel that way, man. Like it ain't nothing to do with mental illness. It's life that's fucking us up for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the only way the suicide rate, man, is climbing, getting higher and higher every month, especially black men, bro.
Oh, bro, I've been there.
You know what I'm saying? Like what got
I
was
like, damn, what the fuck am I doing though, bro? I had to like suck myself back in.
How long until you get up out of that spot?
That's it. Probably I think that shit took me about like maybe like 2 weeks.
What got you up out of
that kind of headspace? When I went to City Hall, I was in that headspace. That's why I was doing that wild shit I was doing. When I went to Occupy City Hall, when I first went out to New York. That's why I ran, jumped on the bridge, jumping on cars and doing all that. I didn't give a shit. You feel me? That's what and then I started to give a shit.
How you shake it though, bro? What caused you to shake that? How do you, because it's not an easy space to come up out of. Like, so how do you shake it and get into a space where that using it for good again, using the things.
Thinking about my kids and how I ain't scratched the surface yet.
Yeah,
that's why I ain't even scratched the surface yet, and I'm doing all this wild stuff because I figure like I do like whatever happened to me, like I would make a name big enough for myself that my kids are like the community would take care of my kids. But it got to the I started sitting back and started looking at certain shit. Start looking at shit that certain people did, and ain't did nothing out here yet, like strong enough yet. Even though, like and it's not that, but I want to leave. Like I kept telling myself, all right, I don't want all this shit to be for nothing. So I gotta make a that's why I haven't stopped marching and all that, because it was like, all right, 2020, everybody just went back, and I'm like, what changed for black people? Nothing. So all the stuff that we was doing to disrupt them in 2020, I'm still doing it until we get what we wanted, because it was effective, and the stuff that I'm doing now is effective. And if I had like the numbers and stuff back then, I mean the numbers back then like I do now, we could you know what I mean? We can make some moves. We can make some moves, but that's why I just not stop just like to keep inspiring people. I have a mission on what I'm doing, you know what I mean? And that's it.
So, like, bro, what does that look like? Like your Fruitopia, like what does that look like, bro? For you to get to a space when you're desperate, you like, I'm good.
I be thinking like, shit, I made up my mind, bro. Like, obviously until I can't do it no more, but my Fruitopia is revolution. You know what I mean? And that's gonna be like My Fruitopia is scary for a lot of people, but that's what we have to do to get
You're gonna
freedom,
take some
bro.
stuff out.
It'll never get handed to us. You know what I mean? We'll have to
Yeah.
take it. And once we get to that, where we're living free, where that their Fruitopia, the utopia, like how we living, like how it's just like, you know what I mean, with nobody stressing and we're not struggling in this classism and this capitalism and all this shit. And it's like a village where we're all everybody protect each other, everybody's keeping each other safe. You need something to eat, you ain't got to pay for it. I got you right here. You need some shoes, he got
true
them
community,
for you.
like true community,
Community. The shit that these lands were before they came over with the taxes and all their rules and laws and shit.
Now, I feel you, bro. Like, I definitely understand where you're coming from, man. Like, I do a lot of research as far as where things start, man, and like how things are, and then looking at some of. I'm a conspiracy theorist, right, within reason, and within this stuff, man, you're looking at like a lot of things that impact us first end up spreading across the land, right? Whether that's drugs, whether that's crime, whatever. Like, you start to see. I think one of the things, the most valuable lessons that I found out, man, growing up was like coming from Baltimore, man, and like being in and out of navigating through like black hoods, right? You always get the mindset of like you see like a Hispanic kid or you see a white kid or Asian kid from the hood, you say these motherfuckers are acting. But then you get into a space, bro, where you're like, no, this is environmentally produced. Like I'm in a white hood and these kids are doing, and these parents that these kids that I have parents that are in addiction, these kids that are dealing with poverty, man, they act in the same daggone way we do. And it's not because of their color, it's because of the environment and things that they're exposed to and the way they're forced to survive. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that was one of my biggest lessons, bro. But the other side of it, man, is just like you can't look at things for face, you can't look at nothing for face value, right? Like you can't take nothing for granted. I've learned that just in my life, bro, like nothing has ever what it looks like. You know what I'm saying? And that space that we are in as men, man, bro, like and even the kids, man, killing themselves, bro. It's like, and it's not just something I say.
Yeah, that's sad.
This not just in the United States, bro. Like Google that shit. Like African numbers are going up with men and kids. You got Europe numbers are going up with men and kids. Well, European, like over in the UK, bro, their mental health game is strong. Like the way they on it, the conversation, the way they talk about, bro. You're not talking about this stuff because it's light. They talking about it because this stuff should be talked about in the same light of as the pandemic when it came to COVID. Several things should be talked about that, right? Just alone. So I'm not gonna go into details about that, but I'm gonna go and ask these questions to close out, bro, because we got a minute, hour and 30, right? I usually ask my guest, man, like what 5 things that concerns you the most, right? But since you like knee deep into your protesting 3 years in every week, like bro, like what concerns you that you feel like everybody else is missing?
The illusion that we're living in, the illusion that we're living in, this, United States, where we're being fooled, man. I hate to hear all that conspiracy stuff. Some of that stuff be right, man. Like, the whole illusion of the presidency, of people voting and all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Parties.
It was the reason why. Because right wing, left wing, like I tell people, it's the same bird, man, and it's duck hunt. And when I say revolution, that's the people versus the government. So it's not the people versus Republicans. It's not.
But you know what's crazy, right? When you hear people talk, right? When you hear guys like Joe Rogan and then you hear Kanye West talking, right? You see how the media spins it and to say they're on their own.
That's all the distraction, man.
So look, right, bro. When you get down to the nitty gritty and you dig into the actual content they have, you will see that they're coming from the same space. Like the separate, they recognize them too. Like,
oh yeah,
like bro, it's rednecks, man, that come up to you and have a conversation like, bro, like just give us the word and we strapping up with y'all to go fix some shit, and then we'll figure out everything else after the fact. That's the biggest fear the government has is unity.
Yeah,
and you see,
most definitely. That's why they all this and it's crazy because white people started coming out protesting too. with the shields and all that shit they was doing at the White House. You know,
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, that's scary. That's scary. You see the motherfuckers out there with the shields. I'm like, ooh. And, you know, they putting the bandanas, the white bandanas on their face and kidnapping people in vans and all types of shit.
Yeah.
But
That's
but when
gets deep.
when you
Right.
and it's coming to the point where we're about to unify because, like I said, they're mad too. You got them out here protesting too, and you got us protesting. We're all protesting the government.
But it's funny, right? Because the media don't show that. Right? I remember, like, right when COVID hit, right, and you had the Trump boys, man, the Proud Boys, and you had Black Lives Matter. They came together and had a huge march, right?
Yeah.
The media wiped that shit out, bro. Like, you can't find no trace of
that. Nuts. And the other thing was, I was getting mad at people when they was talking about, you know, January 6th. And I'm like, bro, we out here to burn it down. Like, tear that shit up. I was like, they ain't gonna let us do it. You know what I mean?
No, you been shot on sight, bro.
Yo, bro, when we was down there protesting at the White House, they wouldn't even let us on the steps. I mean, at the Capitol, they wouldn't let us nowhere near that shit.
Was that before or after this January 6th incident?
Yo, them niggas scaled the wall. It was all up in that joint.
Was y'all doing when y'all came? Was it before or after?
No, we came before.
For real, they wouldn't let y'all on the steps. Like before, bro, you couldn't get on the steps.
Nah, bro, it's a whole different vibe. It's even now, right now, it's a whole different vibe. Like in New York, when white people protest opposed to you know, us.
Yeah, I seen that in Baltimore with the Freddie Gray situation, bro, firsthand. Like I think that happens everywhere.
Yeah. They just the march we just disrupted the other day was Jordan Neely. It wasn't Jordan Neely, but it was the dude that killed him, Daniel Penny. Mm-hmm. And it was, you know, a whole bunch of Army vets, Marines, and a bunch of white dudes with, you know, with the American flags and shit. And it was a couple of bikers, and I think they were KKK members. I know they were KKK members, but yeah, they were all like they all gathered up and wanted to, like, you know, salute. So we went around there and started lining them up with all types, you know, calling them all types of crackers and honkies and stuff. And
but the funny thing about that, bro, like the way you talking about your mission, bro, like people would think that you're racist, right? But then knowing you like, it's the funny how they spend
I
it.
hear that shit all the time, yo, and I'll be feeling it, but I'll be like, yo, because I also tell people I'm not out there fighting. I know my terms might mess them up or something like that, but I'm not out there. I tell people all the time, I'm not out there fighting white people. I'm out there fighting white supremacy. You know what I mean?
It's a difference.
When I'm talking to white supremacy, I'm going to call them crackers and honkies. Like, yeah, I know that might hurt y'all ears and shit, but at the end of the day, those terms, we use them to hurt them. But, you know, cracker was them cracking the whip. So we used to say that like on some, like, here come Debo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We took it and you made it racist. And the honky, it was from when them picking up, you know,
the girls, the prostitutes,
cooking up black hookers, cooking up in black neighborhoods, and we called them honkies. So these are names that, you know what I mean, are funny.
It's the same way as nigga. You took something negative and use it as a term of explaining
they didn't give a fuck
where it came from.
Yeah, when they were called crackers, they didn't look at that as a racist term.
Yeah.
They was looking like, Debo coming, nigga. And the same thing with honkies. They was I don't know if they I'm not going what the fuck that was.
I'm not going to ask you the human question. I might ask you that because it's a part of the show, right? But before I
just feel free to. You also can always invite me back too, because I would definitely.
Oh no, that bro, we got a lot of stuff to talk about, man. Like it's a couple of my guests, man. I meant that like when we got some stuff to dig into. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a good. Like this series, as far as depression ends, man, tonight. You know what I'm saying? Like then we going into. I'm gonna just go ahead and just throw titles out there, and we're gonna talk about it from toxic co-parenting to being young parents to what trauma actually like. There's a whole bunch of ways we're gonna spin this, right? And I'm excited about it. But I know, like my show, man, I usually talk about it on these conversations. We talk about some heavy stuff, and a lot of these conversations usually are in the space of when my guest and myself are talking about the valleys that we travel through, right? But in most valleys, they have peaks, right? So if you're going to the top of, if you are on your way to the top of your mountain, bro, what do you want to yell as far as like your success? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you want? Like, so Kathy said, she was like, I would use profanity. And she was like, I would give depression a big, yeah, I made it. Ha, F you. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Like what, in that space, like what would be your F you, or what would be, ha, I made it, you ain't hold me back, and I'm gonna keep going.
Shit, getting us some kind of reparations.
What reparations?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm scared of that too, though. That's what I said, though, man. It seems like they're gonna give us reparations now, but
and what's the cost? What's the hush? What are you?
It's something else behind that joint. I'm like, yo, because all the states talking about giving us reparations now. So I wonder what that's going like. With somebody said they about to give it to us because they about to blow this bitch up.
They about that dollar about the tank, bro.
They go in their doomsday bunkers and blow us up real quick.
Man, if them people from Enron handle things the way they handle, bro, I can only imagine what happens when people realize that the country is folding the same way Enron did. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
like it's just. And when you look at like how things are strategically made to where it's made to put the squeeze on the middle class, and people don't realize that with the dollar collapsing and transitioning to digital currency, and that's eliminating the middle class. People don't realize that the currency is not going to have an expiration date. So the only way you're going to accumulate wealth is through having something physical, something tangible as far as like property or something like that, or having a skill that can't be emulated by AI.
Machine.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and people don't realize like the shit. People, people might think I mean it, bro. Like this stuff happening with our finances, man, with the dollar collapsing, they should be on these TV screens and media places, man, the same way they were with COVID, telling you how to save your money, telling you what to expect, telling you the worst and best case scenarios, telling you what's going to change definitely, what you need to do to protect yourself and your family financially. What is the economy going to look like moving forward as far as where am I going to make money at, logically, as a human? You know what I'm saying? Like, but you hear nothing, bro. All you see is clips of somewhere in China talking and Russia talking and Iran talking. When you turn on the media here in the United States, bro, you see nothing about nothing going on. You know what I'm saying? And you don't. We missing the fact that you see like not only China coming together with Africa and Brazil, Mexico, bro. Like these people they tighten up to like, oh, all right, we about to go ahead and put the press and we about to surround y'all the same way you got these ships in this water. Business. We about to do it from ownership. We about to do it from every way that you feel like you're superior, right? And I think it just shows the ego and I think it shows the ego and the what is it, bro? Like it's not confidence, dog. It's like the arrogance of our country. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just in that space, bro. Like the one thing I didn't ask you, man, like as far as like with your your mission and what you battle as far as your mental health. I think sometimes that I know for a fact from my situation that some things get misinterpreted about those we love most, right? Like our kids, our mom, the people that we love. We make decisions about, it makes them seem like that they're not as important as they think they seem, right? Like, so with you having your battle, man, and you seeing life the way you've seen it, like, is there anything like you would like to say to your folks, bro? Is like as far as like how you move and who you are, just quick, nothing. You ain't got to get in deep.
Yeah, that's right. I'm trying to find my balance now. So that's why I'm down here now, trying to visit more, and you know what I mean? Because I miss everybody, and that's part of my self care is seeing my family and doing like, you know what I mean, instead of just being there all the time, or even like dealing with the stuff I'm dealing with when I'm by myself. I was probably here with my family. I won't be feeling as bad, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, that'd be that.
So what you would say, like, you making this, like you see what you kind of understand like concerns or
the three. I mean, well,
but you working on it.
Yeah, working on it. Yeah, I mean, because like the last, for like a year and a half after I broke my leg was what made me like change a little bit more. But I used to be uptight when I came here. Uptight, like I didn't, you know what I mean?
Hey bro, how you break your leg to the point where your foot was going north and then your knee was like going south, and they're like, what happened? Like, how you break your leg that bad, bro?
Yo, the damn the police barricade, bro. They be tightening them up or putting like the I forgot zip ties on them and stuff. So sometimes we gotta rip them shit like just like we pull up, we used to rip the, you know what I mean, rip the cages, like, bro, we coming through there, like. So we used to do that all the time, like we let them know we turning up when we get there. It's not gonna be no.
So how your foot snap?
Say it again.
How did that make your foot snap like that, bro? That joint looked nasty,
Oh,
dog.
because when we went to go, when we were pulling it, right, they didn't zip tie it. So we grabbed it, and we all like ran with it, and that shit wasn't zip tied together. So we was like, we was flying with that joint, and I tripped, and when I tripped, it got like 3 prongs on it, and the 3 prong hit my leg, and that's what broke it, cracked. And when I fell, like niggas was still pulling it, so like the barricade went up in the air, and my leg was still attached to it. You know what I mean? Still stuck in the prong. So when the barricade, you see how big them joints is. When that shit went falling down, my leg was still attached.
Yo, that joint looked
so my
disgusting,
shit was
bro.
twisted, bro. My ankle and everything was twisted. And when they picked me up, I mean, like I just jumped straight up. You know what I mean? Because my adrenaline was rushing, and I took the first step, and I went like, you know what I mean? Did one of those down steps, and I looked down, bro. I was standing on my ankle. I said, "Oh shit!" And like I tried to keep the I can't let the cops see me sweat, and that shit hurt like a motherfucker. So I was just like,
Hey,
yo,
and
somebody
he was out
pick
there
me up.
marching like 6 weeks later. Again.
Yeah. Oh no, I was down for like 6 months.
6 months you was down?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, bro,
man.
that was the worst pain ever too. The worst pain I've ever been through in life.
Yeah, nah. Hey, man,
Like,
you handled it, bro.
I'm not talking about like the initial break was hard, but yo, bro, that recovery, the first 3 weeks were bad as shit because I didn't have no painkillers like that. You know what I mean?
You
I
told
tried
not to
do it
take
with
them,
cold
or you
turkey.
just
I
think
tried to do it with weed, and
it works? I didn't know.
I think I only got one of my prescriptions, but they were trying to give me a whole bunch of them shits. Only grabbed one prescription, and I used that. I used that maybe like I did the first week with just straight weed, and then the second week, I think like the half of it, I couldn't, like, it was hard sleeping at night. Couldn't sleep at night, none of that shit. So I was like, oh, I need the pills.
Yeah,
So
bro, like,
but
yeah, bro, your leg, it had to be all type of nerves and everything.
yeah.
That joint, bro.
I
Like,
don't know
what?
what made me. I don't know what I was thinking to be like. I could do it, but nah, I couldn't do it, yo.
Yeah, that's you not trusting the man. You know, like how that joint work, though, bro? You broke your leg, bro. Now these motherfuckers gotta help you. How that go, bro?
I was scared when they put me to sleep, man. When they because they put me to sleep like the next day, and when I broke my leg, you know, they had sent some cops up there to be outside my room, and I started lighting their ass up, but I was all drugged up. So I don't know. I remember going to they remember pushing me to my room. I remember arguing with the nurse that night, and then like when she gave me some drugs. When I got up though, when I woke up, they was already pushing me down to like go get. Well, they told me I was getting surgery, and like, you know what I mean. I had to sign the paperwork. What I was gonna do, and I was like, hell yeah, let's get it done. But when they told me I was going to sleep, and they was like, oh, you might not wake up, and this and that, we don't know. I'm like, what? This shit sounds crazy.
I can only imagine the anxiety that came with that, bro. We're about to go ahead and
wrap
it up. Hey,
you know what I mean? Well, I called my brother. I called Teron, and Teron was like, I forgot what he was saying. We both were scared.
Hey, bro, I can only imagine. Like that's you like Huey Newton that mother. Like,
yeah, don't try it, bro.
People in your position, man, got targets on their back, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's you doing some dangerous work there, bro. Like
it gets. I get paranoid every once in a while.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy, bro? Like when I when I was in Baltimore, man, I was moving through the space of like with my trying to get my farm tech school up and running. Like I was blessed to be in the space of like community advocated, especially when it came to the Freddie Gray situation. Like, and then you hear from the elders, man, some of the tactics that was used in Baltimore as far as like how they infiltrate just simple neighborhood community things that's supposed to benefit, and they tear it up. Like whether they arrest somebody and throw them away for something like child support. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll leave you in jail just enough to that noise die down because nobody else will come out there and fight for you, and they break it up. They do, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it was just funny, man. It wasn't funny. It was scary, bro, to hear like some of the tactics that was used back in the day during like the riots and things like that during King Time, bro. That are still being used to this day. You know what I'm saying? Like, and people don't realize like the risk that comes with that. Like these people that you're talking against, like you are straight up going to the mayor's house, bro, taking hundreds of people with you and protesting on legit things that anybody took a look at would see that is wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
that biasness.
And the stuff that we're asking for is doable. Nothing that I'm asking for is not doable. You know what I mean?
No, that's not
Asking for
crazy.
more community resources. You start. I mean, you to start doing something, bro. Make better playgrounds. So I'm sure that you start doing that. That's better community resources.
Yeah,
Better rec centers, shit like that.
yeah.
Um, I'm asking for the houses, bro. They have. He just said it. He was on the news a couple months ago. They have um 30. They said they got not 30. They have enough office space buildings to fill 3 Central Parks. Not one, 3 Central Parks. You know what
That's
I mean?
wow.
Central Park
Yeah,
big as shit. So
that's
if y'all
wild.
got enough office space, they say they got enough office space and they're not doing nothing with it, then they're about to convert into apartments. That's
We're like the Lord.
we don't need 3 of them. Give us 1 Central Park of office space buildings for these houses people. Because y'all
Especially
don't
the
know,
size of the
y'all
rooms
have
they
nothing to
they
do with
pushing
them.
down there, bro. You can get 100 people in them buildings. Just talk.
Yeah. Oh man, over 100 people. It's the office. These are buildings. You know what I mean? They made for like office spaces that they just have like mad space that they're converting them into apartments. And I'm saying that these are buildings like we don't need all of them. Y'all say y'all got 3 Central Parks. Give us 1 Central Park to
Yeah,
put these
that's
people in. And if
facts.
y'all ain't even gotta give us a Central Park, give us like 3 or 4 buildings. We asked for 5 buildings.
Yeah. Hey, so
For
like
five
like
buildings ain't no Central Park. So
so
just
like I
give us
like
that.
that's
You know what
that's
I mean?
fast, bro, and that's real, bro. Like, so I'm not like I'm gonna take it back to this space, man, because I don't want like people carry anything, right? And although I understand the people understand your fight, like I said, man, people will sit back and look at the things you say and say that you're racist. But then when you look at the photos that you're in, bro, you got more white people fighting with you than black people half the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like. So I just want to bring light to that, bro. Like, nah, you're not racist, and your approach to bringing awareness to the things that are actually wrong may be different, but you're getting results. So why stop? You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
speaking on, you're not
And
speaking.
I tell people I'm fighting race. If I'm fighting it, I guess they call me race because I use them terms. But if I'm talking to a race person, guess what? He gonna get it. I'm gonna show him what racism look like. He gonna
Yeah,
hate
yeah,
that. He
yeah,
gonna hate. He gonna, you know what I mean? And
yeah.
you're racist. Yeah. And that's the other thing they do with us too as um black organizers. Like
Mm,
I rag everybody. I rag black cops. I
yeah,
call them monkeys, coons, all types of stuff. Nobody says anything. They think it's funny. It's all this and that, this and that, this and that. I rag an Asian cop is anti-Asian hate. I rag a
yeah,
white cop. I'm racist. Yeah, you know what I mean?
yeah.
It's a whole difference. But they don't care when I'm popping at the black people. And then you got black people that get mad that I'm talking to. You know what I mean? Talking
Yeah.
to black cops like that, and I just be like, yo, bro, we are
There ain't no
fighting
rules
police
to this. There ain't
brutality.
no rules. There's no
We
rules.
are fighting that
Yeah,
goddamn badge. Anybody underneath that badge is gonna get this work.
yeah, yeah. But that nah, bro. Like again, man. Like we way the loquacious thinkers give us grace to kind of talk, man. But we way over the limit that I usually set by, and I'm
Oh
okay with
yeah,
that.
I know we're going
You know
two
what I'm
hours.
saying? But nah, bro, I appreciate the transparency, man. I appreciate the fight that you're doing out there in New York, dog. Like I pray that you keep the strength and the resources to keep this thing going, man, and you get the thing that you want, dog. We're gonna definitely swing back around and have deeper conversations, man. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, especially from
Yeah,
childhood,
absolutely.
traumas, and things like that. Just we can just rap about some stuff, man. So once we get rolling, dog, we're gonna spin back around, man, and we're gonna dig into some more conversations, bro. But stay up over there, man. You're doing some amazing work out there, man. The community and out there, it ain't hard to get a community buy-in from New York anywhere. So being that you
Yeah,
got it in Best Eye, you know what I'm saying? Like that's big. That's a big sign, man. You making some good moves out there, some positive and some pure moves out that way, man. And I hope you
thanks,
get to
brother.
that Futopia, dog.
Yeah. I hope I get to it too.
Hey man, but look, real talk, dog. I need you to find some ways, man, to make sure you stay good as far as the things you're dealing with, the challenge you're dealing with mentally, bro. Like I ain't gonna be cliche and tell you go out there and grab a therapist. I know how that looks and how it sounds. It sounds great, right? But then the realistic side of it is like number one, there ain't enough therapists to talk to everybody, right? And number two, you don't connect with everybody. So your chances of connecting with a good therapist, man, requires a level of patience that most people don't have. You know what I'm saying? Like so just keep on finding positive ways, bro, and to cope with your joint, man. Keep on working towards towards the balance that you're trying to find with your family and your purpose, dog. And you got my support, bro. Like we're gonna talk some more, man.
Yeah, I got a podcast on the way too. Sometime I guess before the end of the summer. So yeah, I'm gonna get you on my show too.
I bet. What's your name? You got a name for it yet?
Nah, man, I got a couple of names, but I'm waiting till the team get together. We're gonna figure out.
Nah, I got you, bro. Hey, get me on, dog. I got you. I love to talk.
Yeah,
bro.
absolutely.
Yeah, but nah, man, I appreciate this for the 3 viewers that stuck around that I can see. Hey, thanks for y'all been around a whole daggone show, man. An hour and 52 minutes. So I appreciate y'all. The everybody else that tagged us, kind of call it lurkers. Hey, I appreciate y'all listening in, man. Tap in on Thursday at 9:30, man. I got another dope episode coming to you, another powerful episode coming to you. It's not in the Depression Messed Me Up series, but it's along the lines of what that fight looked like as far as a personal battle and a battle with having your kid go through it to see them, go through that scary fight. So, nah, man, thank y'all for following me, man. Thank y'all for, interacting in the conversation, in the chats and things like that, man. I'm working to try to make this thing better. What you see now is the early stages. We talking about clothing lines, bringing awareness through clothing lines, conversation, books, public speaking. We just trying to bring attention the way that it should be talked about. And that's in the real way, man. So the Loquacious Thinkers, the name was chosen because, number one, I'm talkative and I think a lot. Number two, hopefully the name Loquacious sparks. I'm like, what the hell does that mean? You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, you know what I'm saying? Like, and make you tune in and tap in and see, no, we having some real conversations about real life. And then we're taking that, we're taking that minimalization, the minimalization that the label of mental health or mental illness and the diagnosis, how that takes away from the impact of traumatic life experiences and traumas, right? Some things that's pushed now, say you find a way to get over it or you live with it. Some things you don't get over, man. And those that can't get over those things, man, like don't mean that you can't find something else to grasp on to make life worth living again. And if you don't have that yet, keep doing it, because as long as you're here breathing, man, you got a purpose. It's about whatever ailment you're dealing with, whatever diagnosis you have. If you got breath in your body, dog, grab on to what you got left, man, and use that shit for good. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel different. You see life differently, man, and it transforms you. So again, I'll see y'all next Thursday, bro. Thanks for hopping on, dog.
Thank you, brother. Thanks for having me.
No doubt, man. Like, I'm gonna hit you tomorrow, bro, on the phone. I'm about to take it down. I'm exhausted.
Yeah, me too, brother.
Look, I ain't gonna check it tonight, but I definitely hit you in the morning, bro, and see see what you thought, man. And Kathy is still waiting for my edit on her video, so the other two guests, but I'm gonna get around to it. So when I get that done, I'm gonna send you some so you can go ahead and get it out there too on your end, bro.
All right, fine. Thank you, brother.
All right, bro, man. Keep fighting, dog. All right, man. Have a good one, bro.
All right.
All right, fine. That's it for tonight's show. It was an hour and 55 minutes. I apologize. We're going to figure out how to get these things short. I'm going to work on my boundaries. I'm going to work on not my boundaries, but making sure I give myself boundaries and realizing, like, 1:30, hey, we could talk for days, we could talk for hours, but an hour and 30 minutes is where I'm going to cut it off, man, and where I'm going to edit it at. Again, thanks, Raul, man, for being so transparent and talking about the things that, he deal with in the space of the end. I catch y'all on Thursday, man, at 9:30. Again, thank you guys for interacting and tuning in. Y'all have a good night.